Well, the thing is that PenFed does have excellent credit cards, right? But the question is, which PenFed credit card should you get right now, depending on your specific situation? I'm talking about you, boss. What is your specific situation and which credit card from PenFed should you get? If you want to have an answer, I want you to stick around till the end of today's conversation. Welcome back, folks, to another edition of the Awesome Sweetie Kiwi Show. How are you today? I hope you are doing fantastic. I'm doing marvelous, if you were to ask me. If you are doing as great as I am, go grab a cup of coffee or tea or vodka, and let's roll. In today's conversation, I want to talk to you about which PenFed credit card you should get right now, depending on your specific situation. I'm not sitting here just talking about generalities. No, we are going to be very specific based on you and you. I want to start with the Platinum Rewards Visa Signature. So this card is great if you have good or excellent credit. Now, the good thing is that if you have fair credit and you have a good relationship with PenFed, you might qualify. They want you to have at least 5 years MPR, a multi-product relationship. And if you already have a credit account with them, either a credit card or a loan or a line of credit, your account must be in good standing. You also need to maintain a low CUR, credit utilization ratio, and your DTI must be less than 40%. So when we talk about DTI, we're talking about your debt to income ratio. This card is great if you love to earn points on supermarket purchases, as well as restaurants and TV, radio, cable, and streaming services, okay? The card is fantastic for a family-oriented card holder. If you have a family, if you have kids, if you have a wife, a husband, or whatnot, you basically will enjoy this card. The good thing here is that the card has no annual fee. This is really good. In terms of rewards, you'll be actually very happy. You can earn 5x points for gas purchases at the pump and electric vehicle charging stations. You earn 3x points for supermarket purchases, restaurants, dining, and cable, satellites, and other TV, radio streaming services. You earn 1x points on all other purchases. Okay, if you are a new client, you have a bonus, 15,000 points after you spend $1,500 during the first 3 months of card open date. This is what I was just telling you. This card is family oriented. Okay, the APR is decent. You have 13.49% to 17.99%. For balance transfers, the APR is 17.99. Not really interesting. This card is not good for a balance transfer. Don't use it for a balance transfer. Do not. It's a waste of time, waste of money. Okay. And so one thing you need to understand when we talk about this Platinum Rewards Visa Signature, overall, the card is great for the annual fee, the initial bonus, 15,000 bonus points, 15,000 points. And there is a balance transfer, but not really. This card is you can use the balance transfer for on another card. Okay. And the ongoing rate is the rewards rate is 1 to 5 points per dollar spent. And this is really good. And the regular APR is kind of cool also. I want to talk to you about the Gold Visa card. So this card is kind of cool if you have good or excellent credit. And if you have fair credit, you can apply also. As long as you have a good account standing with PenFed, you have a great internal score, a PenFed internal score. Okay, you have a low CUR, credit utilization ratio. This card is great if you are a single applicant or you are a household applicant. So when we talk about household applicants, we are talking about a family-oriented applicant. So if you're single or married or whatever, you are in a relationship, this card is fantastic. Make sure that you have a DTI you maintain a DTI of at least 30%. Your debt to income ratio, okay? This card is great if you love to save on balance transfers. This is a card you want to aim for if you want to do balance transfers with PenFed. The only thing is a 3% fee applies, but you know what? It's okay. What we love with the card is that there's no annual fee, Okay, the APR is fantastic, 7.49% to 17.99%. The balance transfer is after the period is over, 17.99%. Okay, there's a 3% fee. Okay, but remember that the rewards, you will get a $100 stipend credit after spending $1,500 in purchase transactions within the first 90 days of account opening. Okay, so what we love about this card is that the card is great if you are, I said before, if you are single or household applicants, this is really great. But the card is fantastic for balance transfers. Don't try to use it for something else. No, because if you want to have rewards or perks, there are better cards within the PenFed family or outside the PenFed family. Better cards. So the rewards is good. You have 0% APR for 15 months. Think about it. 15 months on balances transferred. This is really good. Okay. And but in terms of ongoing rewards, there is no ongoing reward. So you really don't want, this card is not really interesting for rewards. Okay. So only for balance transfers. And the card is great whether you are single, whether you live by yourself, you live in a relationship, you have a family or whatnot. Okay. Purely balance transfers. And after that, what else do I have to say here? The card has no foreign transaction fees. I love that. Okay, and you have chip and contactless tap to pay enabled for added security, ease, and convenience at the point of sale. Fantastic. I want to talk to you about the third credit card. We have the Power Cash Rewards Visa Signature. This card is great for good or excellent credit. Now, fair credit can also apply. Good accounts, you need to have good account standing. If you already have a PenFed account, a PenFed credit account, and you need to maintain a low CUR, credit utilization ratio. When we talk about low CUR, we are talking about less than 1/3, 33%, 35% maximum. This is really good. And the card is great if you are a single applicant or a household applicant. In other words, you're a co-applicant with your wife or husband, or you are by yourself. It's fine. Just make sure that you maintain a DTI that's less than 35%. This card is also great if you want to save on balance transfers. The only thing is this card has a balance transfers for 12 months, whereas the Gold Visa had 15 months. But the thing is, this card is more like a hybrid. So this card is a hybrid between the Platinum Rewards and the Gold Visa. Why? Because this card allows you to save on balance transfers for 12 months, but also if you want to get cash back on purchases. Based on our research, this is our favorite card from PenFed, the Power Cash Rewards Visa Signature. Really great card. Okay, and you will receive a $100 statement credit after spending $1,500 in purchase transactions within the first 90 days of account opening. This is really good. You have 2% cashback on all purchases through the PenFed Honors Advantage program. You have 1.5% unlimited cashback on all purchases. This is really good. And we love the fact that you have a flexible cash redemption option, whether you can get a Power Cash statement credit or cash out to be, you can get a cash out to a checking or a savings account. And what we love with this card is that there are no caps, no limits, or no category restrictions on cash rewards. Fantastic. The APR is kind of decent too, 14.99% to 17.99% variable. This is really great. So at the end of the day, this is a great card, and we love the fact that the card has no annual fee. This is really good. Okay, and you're getting 1.5 to 2% cashback on purchases, and you have 0% on 12 months on balance transfers. So the card is a really great card. It's a really this is what we call an all-in. Okay, great card. I want to talk to you about the fourth and last PenFed credit card. We have the Pathfinder Rewards Visa Signature. So this card is great if you have good or excellent credit. If you have fair credit, you are not eligible for this card. Okay, and if you are single or household applicants, this is fine. Your DTI must be less than 30%. This card has more stringent requirements. It is just a premium card from PenFed, and this card is great if you are a travel lover. Either you want to travel by yourself or with family. Okay, this is something what if you are a travel lover, whether by car, by road, or whatnot, by plane, whatever, this card is great for you. Okay, why? Now, before I just tell you the benefits, just want to say that the card bears an annual fee of $95, but honestly, you can quickly offset that fee. Yeah, because the benefits far outweigh the cost, the $95 annual fee, honestly. So, for instance, you have 4x points on travel for Honors Advantage members, 3x points on travel for everyone else. You have 1x points on all other non-travel purchases. So you have 50,000 bonus points after spending $3,000 in purchase transactions within the first 90 days of account opening. This is really good. You have $100 bonus domestic air travel ancillary statement credit. You have $100 global entry or $85 TSA pre-check statement credit. You have complimentary annual priority pass select membership. This is really good. So when we talk about the APR for this card, the APR oscillates from $14.99 to $17.99%. And the cool thing here is that the card is kind of great for travel. It offers generous rewards and luxury perks such as free airport lounge access. This is why you gotta be a travel lover to love this card, okay? And honestly, one thing we love is the fact that you have an initial bonus of 50,000 points. It's really good. You have 1.5 to 4 points per dollar spent in ongoing rewards. You have luxury air travel perks. This is really good. You have the fact that the card is available to the general public. Just think about the $95 annual fee though. But honestly, the fee is worth it. It was really worth it. And the APR is kind of decent too. So you have $14.99 to $17.99% variable. So overall, great card. I'll be right back, but after this, don't go anywhere. Welcome back, folks, to another session of the Awesome Sweaty Kiwi Show. I'm just talking to you about which PenFed credit card you should have, and we have talked about the Platinum Visa, the Platinum Rewards Visa Signature, the Gold Visa, the Power Cash Rewards Visa Signature, and the Pathfinder Rewards Visa Signature. One thing I want to say here is that if you do not get approved for a new, let's say you already have an existing PenFed credit card, and instead of applying for a new one and risking a hard pull, you just want to increase the limit on what you already have. And there are ways to do that. And one thing you need to understand is that to qualify for a limit increase with PenFed, there are a few things you need a few conditions you need to fulfill. You have to be a responsible cardholder. This means no late payments or over the limit purchases. Because going above and beyond, for example, your limits by paying extra each month to pay down your balance faster could bolster your case. So if you go above the payments that PenFed wants you to what's called the minimum payment due, if you are able to pay more than that, this could also bolster your case, because PenFed is going to look at you and say, here is an applicant who is really financially responsible. Okay, if your credit is in good shape and has been steadily rising, this is really good. If your income is adequate to cover monthly housing and debt, I was talking to you earlier about DTI, very important, your debt to income ratio. Okay, so if your income has recently increased, you are likely in a good position for your request to be approved. Be prepared to provide your annual income amount if asked. Okay, so one thing you need to understand is with PenFed, if you want to get a credit limit increase, there are a few criteria you need to pay attention to. Your annual income, they will ask for that. Your employment status, whether you're a full-time, part-time, seasonal, cyclical, whatever kind of worker you are, they want to, because PenFed wants stability. That's the bottom line, okay? And they will ask you about your monthly rent or mortgage payment, because those payments are part of what I was talking to you earlier about, are part of your DTI, okay? So it's something very, very important. But please, whatever it is, make sure you tell the truth, because if they ask you to substantiate the data, you don't want to start cooking up some data and just giving them some wrong or fraudulent data. Be honest. One thing you need to understand is that PenFed does review your accounts. If you already have a credit accounts with them, a credit card or a revolving line of credit or a loan, if you have a credit card account with them, they review your account periodically and they will bump you up if they believe that you have been responsible, that your account is in good standing. Every 6 months, every 3 to 6 months. Okay, so do not really panic if your card is not if your limit is not approved. You will be approved. Just keep doing what you're doing right now. Just pay attention to your credit utilization ratio, to your DTI. Make sure that your payment history is top notch. This is really important. Okay, and one thing you also need to pay attention to is your credit score. Your credit report. Yeah. Okay, you want to also pay attention to the number of new credit applications you have recently submitted that resulted in hard inquiries on your credit report. And you also want to pay attention to your employment status. Yeah, because PenFed wants to make sure, again, going back to what I said earlier about stability, they are a lender. And for them as a lender, they want stability. Their job is to make sure that you are able to repay whatever credit they extend to you. Okay, and you also need to pay attention to your expenses, including housing costs and debt obligations. We go back to what we said earlier about your debt to income ratio, your DTI. So the bottom line is you want to keep your DTI to a low of 33% or less. Same thing for your CUR, your credit utilization ratio. And especially your credit utilization ratio is important because it tells the lender about your activity when it comes to revolving lines of credit, revolving credit in general. It can be a credit card, it could be a line of credit. Okay, and one thing I want to say also is that if the lender doesn't, if PenFed does not improve you, if they don't really increase your limits, you basically have the option to wait again, like I said, 6 more months and ask. The bottom line is to continue doing what you're doing right now. Make sure that your financial situation is improving all the time, okay, and that you don't have basically you don't end up making other mistakes that will drag your FICO score down, because that will be the worst case scenario, really. So when we talk about higher credit limits, chances are a higher credit limit could help boost your credit score. This is important, and it does it through one simple element: credit utilization ratio. So anytime you have a higher credit score, a higher credit limit, your CUR will go down. Everything else held constant, right? And your CUR going down has a positive impact on your FICO score because it accounts for 30% of your FICO score. So this is important. So really, this is what I was just telling you earlier. If you already have a relationship with the PenFed, it's a lot better for you to increase your credit limits instead of applying for a new card. So if your limit goes from, let's say, 5,000 to 10,000, it will have a wonderful effect on your credit score via the credit utilization ratio. This is why a lot of people want to have a higher limit. Okay, be very careful though that you don't confuse higher limits with higher expenses, because the money ain't yours. The money, the limit is debt. It's money you have to pay back. So it ain't really yours technically and realistically. So unless you need the expense, don't use the card. Okay. And one thing you need to understand is that the bottom line is while you are growing your credit limits, make sure that you also grow your financial skills. You also want to polish your financial skills. Use your card responsibly. Okay. Pay back your minimum due. You want to pay back more than your minimum due every month. Okay. And our goal here is to let you know that don't just make the one payment on the date the credit card issuer tells you, and in this case PenFed. If they tell you pay your limit on the 5th, you want to pay multiple times during the month. You want to pay on the 5th, you want to pay on the 4th rather, on the 10th, on the 15th, on the 20th. So you want to have multiple payments during the month so that you are basically not only increasing your credit score, but also reducing your outstanding balance that is reported to the credit bureaus. This is really important. And before closing today's conversation, please, you want to continually check your credit score. Very important. We have said on this show and on other shows that you can verify the information in your credit report by going to annualcreditreport.com or by signing up with free credit monitoring services like Wallet Hub. We have a Credit Karma, we have a Nerd Wallet, and so on and so forth. All right, folks. Thank you so much for your attention. I really appreciate it. Today, I was just talking to you about which PenFed credit card should you get based on your specific situation. Thank you so much for your attention. I'll speak to you another time, but until then, remember, stay marvelous.